So you've hit that wall where working harder just stops working. You're maxed out, you're juggling work and content, and you still can't justify hiring help. But if you don't find leverage quick, your growth plateaus and burnout becomes inevitable. In this video, I'm gonna show you how to scale your output before you can afford to hire a team by using the right tools and the right systems. And in a minute, I'm gonna show you the exact stack that I used, tools so good that they made it feel like I had a full-time team when I was still flying solo. So if you wanna escape the solo grind, regain your time, and finally start building something that scales without burning you out, stay till the very end of this video. Most people think that the answer to feeling overwhelmed is just more effort. But what happens when your calendar is already full and you're still falling behind? How do you grow when you've already hit your time ceiling? You're giving it everything you've got, early mornings, late nights, but nothing's really changing. And so it starts to feel like the only solution is to hustle harder, but all that actually does is accelerate the burnout. If you're anything like me, you might even be wondering in this phase, is this just what success feels like? Exhausting and unsustainable. But here's the truth. At some point, more effort stops being the answer because time is actually your ceiling and you've already hit that ceiling. And so even if you're not technically solo, you can still feel stuck because the problem isn't even just the manpower, it's what you're handing them. And so what if the real issue isn't your team or lack of a team, but it's actually your system? Here's the truth that people in this phase of entrepreneurship don't want to believe, is that hiring more people in this stage would be like hiring more people to pull a cart with square wheels. You're scaling the wrong vehicle. And when nothing improves, you don't blame the system, you actually blame yourself. And so you start doubting your ability to lead, scale, and build. But the problem is not just you, it's your tools. I'm about to show you the exact stack that I used to get out of the solo grind and start building leverage even before I could afford a team. Hey, real quick, if you feel stuck online, growing your platform, or creating revenue streams, you don't have to figure this out by yourself. The Breakers Creator Academy exists to help Christian creators and entrepreneurs just like you amplify their message and grow income streams that can create financial freedom to fund the vision that God gave them. Inside the Creator Academy, you'll find live coaching sessions with myself and other guest influencers and business owners, but you'll also find a community of hundreds of Christian content creators and entrepreneurs with the same values, all pushing towards the same goal and helping each other get there faster. If that sounds like something that would help you on your journey, the link is in the description. I'd love to see you in the Breakers Creator Academy. So if more help isn't the solution, at least not yet, then what is? What can actually unlock growth when hiring is off the table? And so let me show you what this actually looks like. And just to be clear, this video is not sponsored by any of these companies. This is just stuff that I actually use and that works for me. All right, the first game-changing tool is for short-form video editing with AI. I use a platform called Opus Clips. It turns my long-form content into scroll-stopping shorts. With one upload, I can get dozens of clips in minutes. AI finds the hooks, it makes the edits, it formats the video, and it even gives it captions and titles. And you have access to all of the projects, so you can go in, you can make edits, you can tweak things, you can add music, but it is gonna do so much of the heavy lifting, and I'm telling you, it feels like having a staff member who's editing your shorts for you. All right, the second tool that I use is for long-form podcast editing. This technology is getting better and better with each passing month and year. What I'm currently using is DaVinci Resolve Studio. And I'm telling you, the multicam auto cut and audio syncing is ridiculous. What used to take hours to edit my long form podcast now takes one click. You just lay out all of your different camera angles and audio, you assign it to each speaker, and then you click one button and AI will go in and it will find all of the cuts. I'm telling you, a 1 hour podcast can be edited in 10 seconds. It's crazy. Okay, so now you've got your videos edited, longs and shorts, but you don't have a social media manager to go in and schedule all of these to publish. That's where the tool called Metricool comes in. Metricool is the best post-scheduling software that I have used. You can go in and set things to auto-post. You can fill out your entire calendar. You can omni-post to different platforms. It's really just as simple as drag and drop, add your descriptions, and Metricool does the rest. All right, the third tool that I used was a game changer, and it's for background automations. It's called Zapier. And the crazy part is that their AI chatbot helps me build full automations with zero coding experience. I just describe what I want and it builds it. It can connect different applications, ChatGPT, your Gmail, your CRM. Really what I've found is that if you can dream it, Zapier can most likely build it. It literally feels like you have an admin assistant working for you in the background. All you gotta do is take time on the front end to build the automations, and then they will just continually run and work for you in the background. And the tool I use for branding, audience clarity, and scripting, I actually built a custom GPT with ChatGPT. It is like a brand strategist in my pocket. I use it every single week, and I'm actually giving it away for free. The link is in the description. Once you download it, it actually is going to take you through the process of helping to clarify who you are, what your business does, what your platform does to serve people, as well as create an audience avatar to clarify who it is you're trying to reach and how to communicate to them effectively. From that point on, it's going to have all of that information as well as the data that I have meticulously trained it on in order to make it the best assistant for you possible. It's operating off of hundreds of A/B tests of YouTube titles, what made them effective, what made other ones ineffective. I've trained it on very large databases of best practices for content creation and business management, all wrapped into one GPT that is tailored for you and your exact context that you can continue to train over time to act as your AI staff member. So you don't need a big payroll to unlock leverage. You need tools that multiply your output without multiplying your hours. You know, I didn't wake up one day with a perfect system. I hit a wall and had to choose whether to crash or to change. I was working constantly, but falling further and further behind. And the stress wasn't just professional anymore. It was bleeding into my health, my marriage, and my creativity. And that's when it hit me. I wasn't building a business, I was surviving one. And I had to face the question that no one wants to ask. What breaks first, me or the system? Most people think that scaling means delegation. But what if there's a smarter first step? One that makes delegation work better later. I used everything I just showed you. ChatGPT, Opus Clips, DaVinci Resolve, Metricool, Zapier, and the result, one 10-hour workday now gets the same output that used to take 30. I know that you probably think that the solution to all of your problems is if you could only hire somebody. But the truth that people don't want to admit is that hiring without systems is just chaos, confusion, and wasted time. And so when I finally brought people on, they stepped into a well-oiled machine, which meant that they multiplied results, not problems. Now, it's easy to think, I'll just push through a little longer. But what do you lose while waiting? What's the real cost of doing nothing? Every day without leverage is a day of lost opportunity. The longer you delay systems, the harder they are to build. You risk burnout, stagnation, and giving up entirely. If I hadn't solved this, I'd still be stuck, tired, and capped by my own hours, and probably burned out by now. Let me know in the comments which one of these tools you are most excited to learn more about and start implementing, and I'll see you in the next video.